Well, we're here at a freezing cold Silverstone circuit for the launch of the new 2018 Mercedes Formula One car. Lewis Hamilton says he reckons last season was his strongest ever. How does he top that? And how did the Mercedes design department top the car which won last year's championship? Ben Anderson, Formula One editor of Autosport, with me. Ben, from what we've seen so far, the covers have come off the car. It's done quite a few laps already this morning. What do you think of it?
Well, you have to say they've done an incredible job at Mercedes. I mean, last year they wowed us with a new car under the new regulations, but it was a big car, heavy car. They had difficulties with it, particularly working the tyres. It looks to me this year that they've evolved that concept further. Rather than throwing the baby out with the bathwater and trying to do something revolutionary, they seem to have evolved their concept. It looks sleeker. There's some very nice packaging on the engine cover particularly, so it seems like the guys at HPP at Brixworth have done a good job too. I think most of the tricks will be underneath the skin of the car. Lewis was saying in a press briefing earlier that there's some all-new suspension on the car. They've got a different aerodynamic characteristic this year. So it seems like they're trying to defeat some of those weaknesses they had in the car last year, which was still ostensibly the fastest car overall, and hope that that's enough to kind of see off the renewed threats of Ferrari and Red Bull.
Well, one of those weaknesses, of course, is that the Mercedes wasn't as able to follow the car in front quite as easily as the Ferrari could. It was it really knocked it off its balance, didn't it? Yeah. Now, a lot of teams seem to have copied Ferrari in that area in front of the side pods and the front of the floor, which was certainly part of the reason that the Ferrari was so good following another car. Do you see many design cues borrowed from Ferrari, can we call it that, in the front, that frontal area of the side pods of the Mercedes?
Potentially, yes. It does look very, very streamlined, this Mercedes, and Lewis mentioned that too. So I think it looks as though Mercedes have looked very carefully at all those areas that the other team seems stronger and tried to borrow a few things without fundamentally redesigning too much. I think one of the key elements though will be what's underneath that engine cover. We know that Ferrari, Honda, Renault introduced new engine concepts last year. They seem to be evolving those for this year, but we hear from Mercedes they're doing an all-new engine for this year, so that could really propel Mercedes even further ahead of the opposition this year.
Thank you for that, Ben. Testing begins in Barcelona on Monday. The weather forecast is not great. It's cold here in Europe at the moment, and there's rain around as well, which could disrupt the preparations. But follow everything, of course, live on autosport.com with Ben and his team, and motorsport.com as well, throughout the testing as we build up to the new 2018 Formula One season.